It appears to be the case that Theresa May has been convinced by party managers that she cannot possibly win this vote and that she's very likely to lose it by a very wide margin. If she were to lose it really badly, that could possibly threaten her premiership. So I think discretion is the better part of valour as far as she's concerned. I think what Theresa May is hoping to do still is to wring some extra concessions out of Brussels and hope that they might be enough to persuade some waverers on her own side to vote for a slightly tweaked withdrawal agreement. Whether she can do that, I think, is a moot point. I would imagine that the plan, as far as Theresa May is concerned, is to keep calling her interlocutors in the European Commission, to keep calling heads of government in other countries to maintain communication with Leo Varadkar and see if there is anything that they can give her that she can bring back and suggest that she's achieved some kind of concession. I think the problem with that strategy, however, is that in the end, Brexiteers are going to insist that it's written into the legal withdrawal agreement. So the normal diplomatic way of sorting this kind of crisis out, some ambiguous language here, a euphemism there, is not going to work in this case. People want something in black and white, and that's why it's going to be so difficult to achieve. I think the chances of a second vote have increased markedly over the last 2 or 3 weeks, actually. It looks as if it's going to be very difficult to get an agreement that satisfies Parliament. We don't have very much time, and no deal, at least is a theoretical possibility, and yet in Parliament and in the country as a whole, it's not a prospect that many people exactly relish. So given that, it looks to me anyway as if a second referendum might be the only exit of what appears at the moment anyway to be effectively a burning building. I think Theresa May's position after today is going to be a lot more shaky than we had assumed. We can't be absolutely sure that these 48 letters will go in, but I think the kind of chaos that saying you're going to hold the vote, then suddenly deciding not to, suggests is at the very heart of government, is going to make some Conservative MPs think that actually she just simply cannot do this. She isn't the person who can negotiate a changed agreement with the EU. She isn't the person who can get agreement across Parliament, and that they will have to replace her with someone who is. Whether that person is actually out there, however, I think is another matter.